In today's Culture Issue segment, we delve into major K-pop issues of the month. For a closer analysis of them, we connect live to Professor CedarBough Saeji at Pusan National University. Professor Saeji, happy to have you on the program.
Thank you, Soa.
All right, so let's start with some big solo comebacks by Blackpink members. Jennie released Mantra and Rosé released addictive this month, almost back-to-back, just a week apart, under their separate solo contracts. So both songs have been doing extremely well. Professor, let's start with their achievements.
Well, like you said, they've been doing great. I checked last night. Mantra was up to 66 million views on YouTube, which demonstrates just how excited the audiences are. Of course, now there's also a performance video, so you can have your choice of which one to watch. It ended the week of October 26th at number 98 on the Billboard Hot 100. And so I'm hoping for a higher result for this next week. And it's doing well everywhere else, digital song sales chart and Spotify and all of that. So I think that Jennie is demonstrating that her new label, addictive, is able to really seal the deal for her and get her in front of even more new audiences around the world. And Rosé's addictive is also doing absolutely fabulously. Bruno Mars, of course, brings extra attention because he is such a huge global star. And so the song at this point is up to 166 million views on YouTube, or as of last night. And it has earned what in Korean pop culture is called a perfect all-kill, which means that it has attained the top spot in every one of the domestic music platforms. So, Melon, Genie, Bugs, all of the different domestic platforms. And so this has been extremely strong release, just coming right off the gate and heading to the top spot on the US Spotify chart until, of course, Jungkook's new song came out. I mean, not Jungkook's new song, I'm sorry, Jin's new song came out. So many BTS things happening right now. So the song has really continued a winning streak across Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube Music. And we'll see how it does on Billboard when it gets to the next week of the Billboard chart.
Amazing figures there. But the new single tracks of both Jennie and Rosé, they seem to be a little different from their previous solo tracks. So let's start a little bit with Jennie first. What makes Mantra different from her earlier solo songs?
Well, in a way, I see Mantra is very connected to the energy in Solo, Jennie's first release. It has that same sort of swagger. But unlike Solo, Mantra is written entirely in English. And I guess what has stood out to me and a lot of other fans around the world is the line, she's that stunna, make you want to swing both ways, which is the sort of ultimate assertion of being universally attractive on the one hand, but it falls quite outside of the norm, the conservative norm in Korea. And so that's been quite interesting to see the reactions to this very strong statement. She worked with 5 different songwriters and 4 producers. None of them were Korean. So we can definitely see that the song has come out not exactly sounding like a stereotypical K-pop release. There's been some criticism about the length of the song. It's just a little over 2 minutes long. But personally, I like it. I just wish it went on longer. I like Jennie, and I hope her next release can quiet some criticism about her not showing off her talent as much as showing off her phenomenal beauty.
Okay, now Walter, to your favorite member.
Yes, I was about to say, we're about to talk about one of my favorite K-pop songs at the moment, for sure. That's Rosé's Apart featuring Bruno Mars. Now, this was in the spotlight even before the song was out. The addictive melody and the straightforward lyrics, some of the features that characterize the songs. I mean, my father-in-law, who's well into his 70s, knows the song at the moment, and he sings it to my daughter, and it's just all over the world. So, speaking as an expert, how do you assess Apart?
Well, I actually love Apart. I find it to be the most K-pop feeling of the recent releases because it reminds me of these late nights drinking with Korean friends, and with a strong Korean pronunciation of Apart, even though we don't get other Korean words in the song, it really feels quite Korean to me. It also feels like a clear musical departure from both Rosé's previous work and the very well-known Blackpink sound. And so I was really, really happy with how the song came out. I do see a lot of people online drawing connections to Tony Basil's song Mickey, partially because two of the songwriters were also from Apart, were also part of Mickey. I listened to Mickey growing up because of my age, and honestly, I don't hear that much similarity. I feel like we really are seeing Rosé's personality, Bruno Mars's personality, and quite a unique song.
I have to agree with you on that. And I think we both also grew up listening to
the
Mickey song as well. But Apart not only is the Korean way to say apartment, but it's also the name of a drinking game, as we know. So because of this song, many people around the world are now having their attention on K drinking games. So Professor Saeji, do you think this could spark another new K wave?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we saw lots of Korean games spotlighted on Squid Game too. So maybe there is something about Korean games. But you know, there are other artists also like So Eve, who has released a couple of recent songs, Mara Tang Huru and Kung Kung Da, which are also incorporating these same sorts of, you know, traditional children's or drinking songs. And we do see this in K-pop. We see lyrics coming from, you know, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or, you know, lyrics about the colors of a monkey's rear end and stuff like that. So I think that the larger lesson is that K-pop really draws inspiration from all over. And because we have these memories of playing these games as children or as young adults, it can make a song stick with us longer. It can really connect with us because we have this longer term connection, and it's really fun to see some people from outside of Korea now getting to know some of these Korean kids culture or young person's culture, because Apart is both a kids game and a drinking game. Like it wasn't only a drinking game.
Right.
That's really interesting that you mentioned how it sticks to people. And that brings me to my next question, Professor. Well, I guess what's noticeable about these two songs is that they're both in English, or most of it is 99.9% in English. Do you think this actually played a significant factor or role in the results of that we're seeing it in the global charts?
Well, I mean, these two artists are very comfortable in English, and it is a language spoken by people around the world. So it would be selfish for us to somehow say you debuted as K-pop artists, so you should continue to release only in Korean. And they have been, you know, written, produced, recorded outside of Korea, working with, you know, talent from beyond Korea. And so doing it in English makes sense for these songs. But honestly, I think that their fans would listen to songs in any language that they release in. I think Lisa could release a song in Thai and she'd get the same numbers that she gets when she releases in English. It's about the image that these women have. It's about the catchiness of songs that are resonating with current pop cultural trends. And personally, I'm just waiting for Jisoo to release another great Korean song like Flower, which has been my
We would love that. So Professor Saeji, thank you very much for your insights today. We focused on these solo comebacks by two Blackpink members. I hope that we're going to talk about other issues again in the near future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.